Hey you! Yeah, you! Have you ever caught your mom or dad pausing at the edge of a step, their hand gripping the railing just a little too tight? Or maybe you've seen your grandma shuffle across the room, her eyes glued to the floor like she's afraid it might betray her. It's that heart-sinking moment when you realize, oh no, they're not as steady as they used to be. Maybe they've even had a close call, a stumble that made your stomach drop. You brush it off, tell yourself it's just aging, but deep down you're wondering, what if they fall? What if they get hurt? I'm here to tell you, there's a simple trick, a game changer, that's helping thousands of older adults walk with confidence and dodge those scary falls. And you're going to want to hear this. Listen, falls aren't just a little slip. They're one of the biggest reasons older adults lose their independence. One bad tumble can take away their ability to live on their own, to laugh with friends, to enjoy those small moments that make life so sweet. It's heartbreaking to think about, isn't it? But here's the good news. You don't have to sit back and hope for the best. With the right know-how, you can help your loved ones stay strong, steady, and safe. You can give them the gift of living their golden years with joy, not fear. And that's exactly why I'm so glad you're here today. In this video, I'm spilling the beans on a walking trick that's transforming lives. Seriously, it's like a secret weapon against falls. Plus, I've got 4 other must-know strategies to keep your loved ones safe on their feet. And trust me, you'll want to stick around till the end for a surprising tip that could be the key to it all. These are practical, easy steps you can start using today to make a real difference. If you're here because you care about keeping your loved ones safe, drop a quick "I'm here" in the comments below. Let's do this together. And hey, hit that subscribe button to ElderTalks Daily so you never miss a tip on caring for the elderly. All right, let's dive in. All right, picture this. Your 78-year-old dad, the guy who's always loved his morning walks, humming a tune as he strolls around the block. But lately, you've noticed he's looking a little wobbly, like he's not quite sure of his steps. You tell yourself, oh, he's just getting older. But then one day, he nearly trips on the sidewalk. Your heart skips a beat. What if a tiny tweak in how he walks could keep him steady and safe? That's where this first strategy comes in. And trust me, it's a game changer. Here's the deal. As we get older, our muscles and balance start to weaken, and that makes falls way more likely. It's not just about getting clumsy, it's about how our bodies change over time. But there's this one technique called heel-to-toe walking that's been a lifesaver for so many. It's simple. You place your heel down first, then roll forward to your toes, nice and deliberate. Sounds basic, right? But studies show it fires up your core muscles and boosts stability, helping your loved ones stay grounded with every step. It's like giving their body a little extra armor against those scary stumbles. Now here's where a lot of folks get it wrong. Some think, well, they've got a cane or a walker, so they're fine. But without the right walking technique, those aids aren't enough to prevent a fall. Others just shrug and say, falling's just part of aging. Nope, that's a myth. Falls aren't inevitable, and you can do something about it. Don't let those assumptions put your loved one at risk. So what can you do today? Start practicing this heel-to-toe walking with them for just 5 minutes a day. Find a flat, safe spot, like the hallway or living room, and hold their arm if they need a little support. Encourage them to take slow, careful steps, landing on their heel first, then rolling to their toes. Make it fun. Maybe put on their favorite song to keep them moving. You'll be amazed at how quickly they start feeling more confident. It's a small step that can lead to big changes. This walking trick is a fantastic place to start, but keeping them steady isn't just about how they walk. It's about building strength in their body too. Let's dive into that next. Now close your eyes for a second and imagine your aunt, the one who used to light up every family gathering with her dance moves, twirling around like nobody's watching. But these days, you notice she's struggling just to stand up from her favorite armchair. You figure she's just tired, maybe not feeling her best. But what if that struggle is a quiet warning sign, a clue that her body's getting weaker and her risk of falling is creeping up? That's where our next strategy comes in. Simple strength exercises that can help her stay strong and steady. Here's what's happening. After age 65, our bodies start losing muscle mass, sometimes up to 8% every decade. That's not just a number. It means weaker legs, shakier balance, and a higher chance of a fall. But the good news, you can fight back with easy exercises like chair squats. These aren't about bulking up or hitting the gym. They're gentle movements that rebuild strength right where it counts. Research shows that even a few minutes of these exercises can make a huge difference, helping your loved one move with more confidence and less wobble. But here's where a lot of families miss the mark. Some think, exercise? For someone that age? That sounds risky. So they encourage their loved one to rest all the time. But too much sitting actually makes weakness worse. It's like letting their muscles fade away. On the flip side, others go too hard, pushing their loved one into tough workouts that feel overwhelming or even cause injuries. Neither approach works. The key is finding that sweet spot, safe, simple movements that build strength without stress. So how do you make this happen? Start with something as easy as chair squats. Have your loved one sit in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor. Ask them to stand up slowly, then sit back down just as carefully, using their arms to hold the chair for support if they need it. Aim for 5 to 10 of these a day. It takes just a couple of minutes. Better yet, do it with them. Turn it into a little game. Maybe count out loud together or cheer each other on. It's not just about building muscle. It's about showing them you're in this together. You'll see their strength grow, and so will their smile. Strength is a big piece of the puzzle, but it's not the only one. What about the place they spend most of their time? Their home. Believe it or not, it could be hiding dangers that make falls more likely. Let's talk about how to fix that next. Think about your grandma, tucked into her cozy little home, surrounded by memories, the same place she's lived for decades. Last week, you heard she tripped over a loose rug in the living room. You chalked it up to her being a bit clumsy, maybe distracted. But what if it wasn't her at all? What if her beloved home, the place that feels so safe, is actually hiding dangers that could send her tumbling? That's what this next strategy is all about, making her home a fortress against falls. Here's the truth. Studies tell us that 60% of falls for older adults happen right at home. It's not because they're careless. It's things like cluttered floors, dim lighting, or uneven steps that trip them up. These hazards are sneaky, blending into the background of a house they know like the back of their hand. But the good news is, you don't need a complete overhaul to make a difference. Small, thoughtful changes can slash the risk of a fall and keep your loved ones safe where they feel most comfortable. Now here's where a lot of us get it wrong. We assume a home they've lived in forever is automatically safe. They know every corner, we think, but familiarity can blind us to risks, like that wobbly table or the hallway that's too dark. On the other hand, some folks go to the opposite extreme, thinking they need to gut the house or spend thousands on fancy renovations. That's overwhelming and usually unnecessary. The truth is, a few simple tweaks can work wonders without turning their world upside down. So what can you do right now? Start by taking a walk through their home with them, like you're seeing it for the first time. Look for throw rugs that could catch their toes. Roll them up or tape them down. Check the lighting. Swap out dim bulbs for brighter ones, especially in stairways and bathrooms. And consider adding grab bars in the bathroom, near the toilet or shower. They're like a steady hand to hold on to. These changes are quick, affordable, and can make their home a safer haven. Plus, doing this together shows them you care, and that means everything. A safer home is a huge step, but there's another piece of the puzzle we can't ignore: how well they can see and what they're wearing on their feet. Let's dive into why their vision and footwear matter so much for keeping them steady. Imagine your uncle squinting to read the label on his cereal box or shuffling around in those old, worn-out slippers he loves. You think, he's just getting older. Or, those slippers are comfy, no harm done. But what if those habits are quietly putting him in danger? Could something as simple as his eyesight or shoes be setting him up for a fall? That's what we're tackling next, and trust me, it's a bigger deal than you might think. Imagine your uncle standing in the kitchen, squinting hard to read the label on his cereal box, his glasses slipping down his nose. Or picture him shuffling through the house in those old floppy slippers he's had forever, the ones with the soles worn smooth. You think, oh, he's fine, just getting a bit older. Or, those slippers are his favorite, they're cozy. But what if those little habits, his blurry vision or those shaky shoes, are secretly putting him at risk of a fall? That's what this next strategy is all about, and it's a bigger deal than you might realize. Let's break it down. As we age, our eyes change. Things like cataracts, glaucoma, or just trouble judging distances can make the world a blurrier, trickier place. Research says that vision problems play a role in 20% of falls among older adults. That's 1 in 5 tumbles caused by not seeing a step clearly or misjudging a curb. And then there's footwear. Those flimsy slippers or shoes with slick soles. They can throw off balance faster than you'd think, turning a simple walk into a wobbly disaster. It's not just about comfort. Bad shoes can be a hidden hazard. Now here's where a lot of us slip up. We figure, they've got glasses, so their vision's covered, and skip the eye doctor, not realizing that old prescriptions or untreated conditions like cataracts can still cause problems. Or we let our loved ones keep wearing those ratty slippers because they're comfy or sentimental. Comfort's great, but when it comes to staying safe, those shoes might be doing more harm than good. Ignoring these things is like leaving a trap door open in their daily routine. So what can you do to help? First, make sure they get an eye exam every year, not just a quick check for new glasses, but a full visit with an eye doctor who can spot issues like cataracts or depth perception problems. It's a simple appointment that could save them from a fall. Next, take a look at their shoes. Ditch anything with slippery soles, loose fits, or no support. Swap them for sturdy, non-slip shoes with good grip. Think sneakers with Velcro if laces are tough for them. You could even make it a fun outing, picking out a new pair together. These changes sound small, but they're like giving their feet and eyes a safety upgrade. Vision and footwear are huge for keeping them steady, but there's one final piece that pulls it all together, helping them feel confident when they walk. Let's talk about how to build that confidence next. Picture your mom who used to love her evening strolls with her friends, chatting and laughing under the streetlights. But lately, you've noticed she's making excuses to stay home, saying she's too tired or just not up for it. You catch her hesitating at the front door, gripping the handle like she's bracing herself. Deep down, you know it's not just fatigue, it's fear. She's scared of falling, and that fear is stealing her freedom. But what if that fear is actually making things worse? That's what this final strategy is all about, helping her rebuild the confidence to walk tall and fearless. Here's what's going on. Fear of falling isn't just in her head, it's a real physical problem. When someone's afraid, they move less, maybe sticking to the couch or avoiding anything that feels risky. But less movement means weaker muscles, shakier balance, and, ironically, a higher chance of falling. It's a vicious cycle. Research shows that this fear can be as dangerous as any loose rug or dim hallway. The good news? You can help break that cycle by gently guiding them to trust their steps again. It's like giving them back a piece of their old spark. Now here's where a lot of us get it wrong. Some think, oh, it's just nerves, they'll get over it, and brush off the fear as something emotional that doesn't matter. But ignoring it lets the cycle spin faster, keeping them stuck. Others go too far the other way, pushing their loved one to just walk more or tackle big challenges too soon, which can backfire and make them even more scared. The trick is to meet them where they are with patience and encouragement, not pressure. So how do you help? Start small and be their cheerleader. Take short walks together, maybe just to the mailbox or around the backyard. Hold their arm if they need it and praise every single step. Say things like, "Look at you go, that was so steady," or "You're doing amazing." Those words sink in deeper than you think. If they're really nervous, consider a session or two with a physical therapist. A pro can teach them specific moves to feel stronger and show them they're capable. It's not about forcing them to be fearless overnight. It's about building trust in their own body, one step at a time. You'll see their shoulders relax, their smile return, and that's when you know you're making a difference. These 5 strategies, better walking technique, stronger muscles, a safer home, sharper vision, and newfound confidence can completely change how your loved one moves through their day. But let's pause and talk about why all of this matters so much. Not just for their body, but for their heart and yours too. Let's take a moment to sit with this, because I know it's heavy. Watching someone you love, your mom, your dad, your grandparent, start to wobble when they walk or hesitate before taking a step is gut-wrenching. It's like watching a piece of their spirit slip away, replaced by this quiet fear of something as simple as crossing the room. You see them shrink back, avoiding the things they used to love, and it breaks your heart. Maybe you're lying awake at night, wondering if a fall is just around the corner and what it might take from them, their independence, their laughter, their time with you. It's overwhelming, and it's okay to feel that weight. But here's the truth. You're not helpless. You have the power to change this story, to help them move through their days with strength and dignity. Instead of letting that fear take over, think of these strategies we've talked about as your way of wrapping your love around them. Every time you practice that heel-to-toe walking together, every chair squat you cheer them through, every rug you remove or light you brighten, you're not just preventing a fall, you're giving them back their freedom. You're handing them the chance to keep enjoying the little things that light up their world, like tending to their garden, visiting with neighbors, or just walking to the kitchen without a second thought. This isn't about fighting aging or stopping time. It's about showing them they're still capable, still here, still them. And that's one of the most beautiful gifts you can give. So what can you do today? Pick one thing, just one. Maybe it's taking 5 minutes to practice that heel-to-toe walk with them, holding their hand and making them laugh. Or maybe it's walking through their house, eyeing it for hazards like a detective, ready to make it safer. It doesn't have to be perfect or huge. These small steps stack up, building a stronger, steadier life for them. You don't need to be a doctor or an expert, just someone who cares enough to try. And I know you're that person, because you're here, listening, ready to make a difference. Caring for someone as they age is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. There are days when it feels like too much, when you're tired or scared, or just not sure you're doing it right. But let me remind you, you're not alone, and you're stronger than you know. With these tools, your patience, your love, and these practical steps, you're helping them live a life that's not just safer, but fuller, happier, richer. You're giving them days filled with moments that matter. Hold on to that hope, because it's real and it's powerful. You've got this, and they're so lucky to have you. All right, let's wrap this up with a quick look back at what we've covered, because these tools are your lifeline for helping your loved one stay safe and strong. We talked about the heel-to-toe walking trick, that simple tweak that steadies their steps like magic. Then there's those easy chair squats to build up their strength, turning wobbly legs into something sturdier. We went over how to spot and fix hazards in their home, those sneaky rugs or dim corners that could trip them up. We also dug into why clear vision and solid shoes are non-negotiable, keeping their eyes sharp and their feet secure. And finally, we explored how to rebuild their confidence, helping them walk without that shadow of fear holding them back. These 5 strategies aren't just tips. They're your way of keeping your loved one independent, smiling, and safe in their own world. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you noticed your mom, dad, or grandparent struggling with their balance lately? Maybe they're hesitating before steps or sticking closer to the couch than they used to. Or perhaps you've already tried something like brighter lights or new shoes and seen a difference. Which of these ideas are you excited to try first? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and I love hearing your stories. It's like we're all sitting around a big table, sharing what works and cheering each other on. Let's keep that conversation going, because your experiences could help someone else out there feel less alone. If this video gave you even one new way to care for your loved one, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button. It helps more people find these tips, and that means more families keeping their loved ones safe. And if you want to keep getting practical, heartfelt advice like this, subscribe to ElderTalks Daily. We're here every week with ideas to make caring for the elderly a little easier, a little less overwhelming, and a lot more rewarding. It's like having a friend in your corner who gets what you're going through. Thank you so much for watching ElderTalks Daily. Your love, your effort, the way you show up for the people who mean the world to you, it's changing lives. You're making their days brighter, safer, and filled with more joy. Keep that fire in your heart, stay curious, and never stop learning how to care for them in the best way possible. I'll see you in the next video, where we're diving into some hidden signs of memory changes you won't want to miss. Until then, keep those conversations flowing with your loved ones. Hold them close and know that you're doing something truly amazing. See you soon.